Joining me now are Cezar Abado and Brian Walls with the Oklahoma Employment Security Commission. Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Good to have you both here. You're with the Disabled Veterans Outreach Program.
Yes, sir.
And Brian, you're a Tulsa American Job Center manager.
Yes, sir.
Why are the two of you here?
So I manage the office, the day-to-day running of it, and Cezar is one of my employees. So
I see.
But he works strictly on what we call the JVSG grant, as Jobs for Veterans.
So Jobs for Veterans, and you then will handle managing everything else?
Yes, sir.
I got you. Okay. What does a typical day look like for you guys?
For me, on the veteran side, so a lot of my clients that come through the office, most of the time they're in there for other reasons. They're there for unemployment assistance. They could be there for training assistance with Title I, which is another organization within our office. And then along the way, if they get asked if they're interested in any veteran employment services, they would, and once they're screened for that and they qualify for our program, they will then have the opportunity to sit down with me and we can discuss employment plans and goals or any kind of barriers that we may be able to assist.
And since you're a veteran, they're more than likely to open up to you.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the reasons that OASC look for those veteran job seekers who are interested in a job such as a Disabled Veteran Outreach Program specialist, so that we can be the individual they can relate to when it comes to them opening up to certain things that might be underlying issues that's hindering them from getting jobs.
Got it. Brian, you're an office manager.
Yes, sir.
You see people from all walks of life.
All walks of life.
And any job seeker ever come in and knock on the door that just blows you away? I mean, have you ever had any surprises?
It can happen daily.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. But I think that every job seeker is a little bit different. Their needs are different. Their desires are different. And so I think that part of our job is being able to determine not just what somebody wants, but maybe what they need as well. If you have a job, maybe you want a better job, or maybe, like Cezar, for instance, when the first time I met him, he was actually looking for a job. And he'd come into our office to talk to one of our current DevOps, and they got to telling him about what we did in our office. And Cezar felt like that was something that he would want to do. So we were able to sit down, have a couple of conversations, get to know each other, and it just worked out. Where now Cezar's a part of our team.
Kind of joined at the hip.
Kind of joined at the hip. That's right. That's right. We've been doing it for about a year now. So
yes, sir.
Can you share a moment with me when you finally realized that you'd made a difference in somebody's life?
Sure. And I think we try to do that every day. I try to hire people that are pretty like-minded in kind of what I want with the office to run. And so one of the things we talk about is, we want to provide a little bit of hope for people. A lot of times we'll see people on their worst day. They've just lost their job and they're trying to figure out how they're going to feed their kids, how they're going to pay their electric bill, what are they going to do? And so it's finding that opportunity to provide just a little bit of hope for someone that's coming in. We had a gentleman that had come in a couple years ago and very distraught, very upset, very angry, very loud. He'd lost his job a couple weeks before. His brother had passed away. He'd had some other issues going on personally in his life. And, we were able to pull that gentleman aside and have some real conversations with him and get him calmed down and get him to the point where we were able to help him. And he come back in our office several times and, remembered us by name. We remembered him and we're able to help him get a job. And so it's those kinds of things where you can take someone they're having that bad day, that man, I don't know where to turn, I don't know what to do.
Oh, terribly frustrating.
Yeah, and just give them just that little bit of spark, that little bit of hope that says, hey, you got someone that's on your side.
Hope is such an important word in our lives, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It matters so much to everybody to have just a little bit they can reach out and touch. Cesar, if you had to touch on something, what's the one common thread that you see running through the veterans' lives?
Oh, wow. That's kind of a loaded question. I kind of put myself in that situation as a veteran myself. When I retired from the Marine Corps, there was a lot of uncertainties what the future holds, and so my fear personally, and I feel like a lot of the veterans feel the same way, especially now that I've been in the seat for about a year. I'm kind of seeing a lot of commonalities with what I felt when I left the military, and that's really the thought of not finding that place where you feel like you belong, that cohesion, that sense of belonging, finding a place where you could relate with others in a very, very deep level where you can feel like it's a sense of family. And so that is a big factor with a lot of veterans clients that I come across. And to kind of ease their mind, I kind of just explain to them that one of the great things that I've experienced since I've been here is just getting the insight from employers that we work with and how their veteran communities are like within their organization. It
all comes back to that magic word, hope.
Yes.
And it seems like both of you are involved with that word, hope. You offer hope.
Absolutely, sir.
Folks.
That is the number one thing. With hope, anything is possible. Like Brian said, people come through our office sometimes in their worst days.
Yeah.
And if they can come out of there with a little bit of hope, they're already one step ahead. And
there's a bounce to that step.
Absolutely. And you can tell in their demeanor, and when they come out of there and how they feel, you can tell in how they were when they came in and when they leave. That little bit of kind of light that we can bring into the darkness that they're going through, in a sense, is fulfilling. And that's why I enjoy my job and I enjoy what we do.
Well, thank you, both of you, for what you do and the contributions you make. We're out of time. Thank you again for taking time to visit with us.
It's an honor.
We
Pleasure,
really
sir. Our
appreciate
pleasure.
everything you contribute. And hang on to that magic word, hope.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more after this.